ask God to show you that it's worth it to be in relationship with Him. Challenge Him. Ask. Say, show me that it is worth it. Hi, guys. It's your girl, Sydney Jackson. Welcome back to Cozy in Christ, the casual Christian podcast. So, this episode today is for you non-Christians. I want to talk to you guys specifically today. So, I have been having a lot of conversations with people that don't identify as Christian. And so most of the people that I've talked to have dealt with some type of church hurt. And so they decided to leave the church and decided to leave the religion. And then there are some of you that say that you've learned a lot about Christianity and it just completely turns you off. Like how Christianity has been used to hurt and abuse people. Like, for example, it has been used to justify slavery and used to justify homophobia and, my God, racism and just so many things, sexism. The list goes on, okay? And then also some of you guys were forced to go to church growing up. And now it just left a bad taste in your mouth because you never wanted to go. And so now that you're adults, you're like, okay, I don't have to go to church. So I'm not gonna go. And I just want to take a moment to validate y'all. Like that is totally fair. Like I totally get that. I understand how you are feeling. Some of those thoughts and reservations I've had myself, especially with how Christianity has been used. For a point in my life, I didn't even want to identify as Christian because I was like, there's so much pain and hurt surrounding the history of Christianity. And also, there's so much stigma in even saying that you are a Christian. Like, you say you're Christian, people like, ooh, oh Lord, what that mean? That she finna judge me, you know? There's just the word has become loaded in a lot of ways. But one thing I've noticed is that through all these conversations that I've had of people that have left the faith, of people that say they have learned so much about Christianity that they don't even want to be a part of Christianity. And then also the people that, just didn't grow up in the religion at all. And so it wasn't even on their radar anyway. There's a commonality here. And the commonality is that none of these groups of people have actually had a relationship with God. Now, I know for some of you that can be really hard to hear, but just bear with me for a second. Those of you that are like, you know what, I have been so consistent in my Bible. I grew up in church. I was a part of the community. I did X, Y, and Z, all of the things. Maybe you just had a relationship with the church and not God. Maybe you just had a relationship with the people, a part of the church, a part of the religion, and not God. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, those that were among us, that left us, were never a part of us. So you guys that are not Christian, that may have had a very structured walk, or you may have, been very involved in a lot of different ways in the faith, you never really had that intimacy with the Lord. Intimacy with the Lord, once you have that, that's something that you don't leave. It's not something that you can walk away from, because once He has your heart, He has your heart. It's like when you fall in love with the person that you're meant to be with for the rest of your life. There is no falling out of love with that person. Y'all are in it for the long run. Y'all are not about to let each other go. You guys are both in love. This is who you want to be with. There is no breaking up. Breaking up is not an option for y'all because y'all are it. There is no, let me go find out if there's somebody better. You know that this is the best person for you, right? And it's the same with a relationship with God. Once you have that relationship with God, there is no, let me leave. You're going to leave the best thing that ever happened to you? It wouldn't make sense. You would never want to do that. And so a lot of people, and I used to do this before I had a relationship with God, because I used to be in the same exact boat when I didn't want to identify as Christian for a point when I was in college, because I was like, Christianity has hurt so many people, and it has been used to justify so many things. But that was before I actually got to know God. People and God, those are two different things. The thing is, people are not perfect, and people do dumb stuff all the time, every single day, every single second of the day. There's not going to be a second of the day where you don't see a person being dumb. You're just not going to see it, because people are always doing something, even if you don't see it. It's on the news somewhere. People being dumb somewhere. But people are not God. God is perfect. God is loving. God is caring. He cares about you. He loves you. He wants you. And I understand it can be very hard to separate the two, but that person that hurt you in church is not God. That person that told you that your skirt is too high and that you're going to go to hell for that, God didn't say that to you. They said that to you. Okay? The person that told you that you have to be perfect in order to receive God's love, and so you just decide to give up because you were never going to be perfect. God never said that you had to be perfect. He's never calling you to do that. Y'all, people come short all the time, and it's not going to stop. I come short. I'm nothing but an imperfect being that has a perfect God and that wants to share that God with all of you. He is the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I truly want all of you guys to experience what it's like to know him. I'm saying that because actually knowing him is life-changing. Knowing him is the most eye-opening thing that will ever happen to you. Living this life on your own by yourself, that's scary. Who is out here protecting you? Who is out here covering you? It might be another person. Cool, that's great. I'm glad that you have another person to cover you and love you. But that person is not perfect. Would you not like to have a perfect provider, a perfect protector, somebody that's going to love you unconditionally? People cannot do that. They can try, but we're always going to fail because we're not made to be gods. Only God can be God. And a lot of times we try so hard to be God without even knowing it. Or we try to find God in our relationships, somebody that's going to love us unconditionally, somebody that's never going to fail us, somebody that's going to be there 24/7, somebody that's going to comfort us whenever we need comfort. People cannot be that for you. Sally, I'm telling you this right now. Eric cannot be that for you. Okay? Only God can be that for you. Once you find the love that you are looking for in God, you will finally feel secure in your relationship. There's something that may be missing in your relationship with who you're with, and it's God. You're trying to compare them to God. Also, y'all, I wanted to mention that I have been getting a lot of end times dreams. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Nobody knows. No man or woman knows when the end times is gonna happen. Anybody that says that they do is a liar. Okay. Nobody knows the date and time. Some people may know the season, but no one knows the date or time. I mention this to say that the end times is real and it will happen. Okay. And I know some of you out there know this, even though you're not Christian, you can feel it. You're very spiritual beings and you can feel that it's going to happen. You don't know when, but you're like, yeah, I can sense that. So, what are you going to do about it? You sense that it's going to happen. So, what is your plan? Have you thought about Jesus? Have you thought about trying him? I recommend you guys to at least try Jesus. Those that have tried the church and tried other things, tried the Bible, et cetera, try having a relationship with him. And Somebody that I talked to recently, they say they believe that God is real, but they don't really want a relationship with him because they feel like they wouldn't want to be obedient. They're like, "How can I have a relationship with God if I'm not gonna be obedient because I don't wanna be obedient?" So for the person that is feeling that, I say, ask, pray, and ask God to show you that it's worth it to be in relationship with him. Challenge him. Ask. Say, show me that it is worth it being in relationship with you. And see what he says. See what he shows you. If he shows you something worthwhile, go for that relationship. Okay, y'all? Now, those that don't even believe that God is real, ask God, challenge him and say, show me you're real. Show yourself. He loves a good challenge, y'all. He is not afraid of a challenge. And if you already don't believe he's real, what's the harm in asking? What's the harm in asking and saying, God, show me you're real? If you're real, show up and show up in a way that is so clear and obvious, I cannot deny it. In the chat, I would love for you guys to mention how this episode made you feel. What's on your mind? What are you thinking? I wanted to be as gentle as possible in this episode because it is a very tender topic, a very tender conversation, and I don't take that lightly. But God has been telling me to share a message like this, and I know that this is going to reach the right people. So I do hope that you guys liked this episode. I hope that it stirred up some great things for you. I recommend you guys journal about what I've talked about today and just put your thoughts down on paper. I know that hearing this is not always the easiest thing, but like I said, it did need it to be said. And I really hope this episode helps you guys. So, I will see you guys in my next episode. I hope y'all have a fabulous Monday and rest of the week. All right, y'all. Bye.